Hi again. Welcome back, huh? So here we are, brand new Willie's guitars, and this floats in. This is kind of an interesting guitar, and everybody's wondered what this is. This came in with 11 screw holes. Actually, the screws were actually in there, and people are like, what happened? Well, there was actually a unit that screwed on top that was a vibrato. So you'd load the strings through the back, and then this bent metal would be a vibrato. That is long gone because they didn't really work that well. But they still did leave these screws. Now, we thought about leaving the screws in, but otherwise this is an original unbroken 1955 Gibson Les Paul Jr. And anytime we find a 50s Les Paul, we get excited about it. We'd like to see your Junior. And the beautiful thing about the Juniors is just the power that comes out of it. This is a one-sheet Honduran mahogany. This is like a drum. And even playing this without an amplifier, it's like an acoustic guitar in your lap. It's really a wonderful sounding guitar, a great feeling guitar, a big neck. There's a very slight V. We talked about that on the 59 burst that we had here. This has that too. An original P90. Now the bridge is a good reproduction, and if you look closely at that bridge, yeah, really, that's a reproduction? Yes, that's a reproduction bridge. And this just has this really dense tone too. Now, I just also got in a Sampson era Matchless, and those of you guys that are from here, Mark Sampson worked at Newt Capay's from Iowa, and came here and worked in the Twin Cities for a long time. Mark Sampson worked on some of the early Prince guitars. Mark Sampson is famous for making Matchless. And the reason Matchless came around is because Vox amplifiers, which was so popular back in the early 90s, are very unreliable amplifiers. They're British, and like a lot of British cars, I like to joke, they kind of blow smoke in your face. And Voxes tend to be, they have this real crisp, it's a Class A sound, so the tubes are on all the time, and the tubes are hot, and that crisp overheated tube is like running an engine on high revs. That tends to break down, the heat tends to break down. So how do you fix that? You make your amplifier out of military grade components. But there's other things that Mark Sampson did, including soaking the transformers. He would actually treat the paper in the Celestians. He'd do a lot of mismatched speakers. Mark Sampson was kind of a genius. Now all he makes are preamps for stereos, but he's out of the amp making business. But these early 90s Sampsons, and Willie's was one of, if not the biggest Matchless dealer when Mark Sampson was in control of the company in the world. And we just loved amps made by Sampson. Now he made this is a Lightning. It's 15 watts, which is about perfect. And this is a Lightning Reverb, so this last knob here is a reverb knob. They had a great reverb. Really beautiful. A lot of cheaper amps now have a digital reverb, and it kind of sounds like reverb. This is a really big, luscious reverb, a master volume, and then you have an active treble and an active bass. So when the knob is up, you are going to add treble or subtract treble. It's 0 at the top. So all your knobs on a Matchless amplifier, if you point them straight up, it's basically at 0, so you can add to or subtract from. Unlike Fenders or Marshalls, you're only doing subtractive. And it's a completely different sound. It gives you a lot more tonal variety. So these two guitars, or this guitar and amp combo, is kind of cool. These amps work with anything. I play a Telecaster through my Lightning, and this 55 Junior, and I'm going to not try to blow you guys out here, but it's a really great, like a Marshall sound. Just real authority. Now giving it a little more juice, and I'm going to flood the microphone, and I'll apologize for that. juicy goodness. Now I'm going to turn it down halfway. The nice thing about an old Les Paul that's already beat up is you don't pamper it. You don't feel the need to pamper it. Certainly this is not a guitar you break or cut another pickup or do anything like that. This is indeed a classic, but those 11 little holes and that repro bridge really make this a deal for anyone interested, and this would be a lot less than getting, say, a vintage reissue or a custom shop junior. And boy, this is just a great guitar. Big neck, great pickup, sounds great clean. I went to see the Stones. Keith Richards plays these lately, plays a lot of juniors, and man, it just sounds fantastic. And then a 94 Matchless Lightning, which is coming out very soon. These are hard to find. They're lightweight, the perfect wattage. This one comes with a flight case, kind of handy, and just a fantastic sounding amplifier. See? Ain't this a fun gig? All right, that's all for now. That's all I got to say.